North Korea has blamed U.S. nuclear blackmail for the surging tensions over its military program during talks with a senior UN official, but agreed to remain in regular contact with the world body. The United Nations Undersecretary-General for Political Affairs Jeffrey Feltman on Saturday wrapped up a 5-day tour of the country. He held talks with senior officials in a bid to soothe the tensions, which soared over Pyongyang's test launch of a new ballistic missile capable of striking the U.S. mainland in response to U.S.-South Korea joint war games. At these meetings, our side said the U.S. policy of hostility toward the DPRK, North Korea and its nuclear blackmail are to blame for the current tense situation on the Korean peninsula, said a report by the North-stated news agency, KCNA. During the first visit to the country by a senior UN official since 2010, Feltman met with North Korea's Foreign Minister Ri Yong-ho and Vice Foreign Minister Pak Myong-kook, the report noted, adding that Pyongyang had agreed with the UN to regularize communications through visits at various levels. The report did not mention any meetings with leader Kim Jong-un. North Korea also stated earlier in the day that Feltman had expressed willingness to ease tensions in the Korean peninsula. The United Nations expressed concerns over the heightened situation on the Korean peninsula and expressed willingness to work on easing tensions on the Korean peninsula in accordance with the UN Charter, which is based on international peace and security. KCNA quoted an unnamed foreign ministry spokesman as saying on Saturday. The visit by the senior UN official also came after the US and South Korea started their latest joint aerial military drills, described as their largest ever war games in the Korean peninsula. Pyongyang further reiterated its concerns on Saturday that such military maneuvers were a provocative move, insisting that the drills had revealed their intention to mount a surprise nuclear preemptive strike against the DPRK, this handout taken and released by the South Korean Defense Ministry in Seoul on December 6, 2017 shows a U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer bomber R-top, 2 U.S. F-35A middle and 2 U.S. F-35B bottom stealth jets flying over South Korea. VAFP. This is while the UN Security Council has slapped the impoverished country with a package of sanctions over its increasingly powerful missile and nuclear tests, which have upset Washington and its regional allies South Korea and Japan. Feltman departed from Pyongyang and flew earlier on Saturday to the Chinese capital of Beijing, a key North Korea ally which has repeatedly called for a halt of US-led war games in the area. And Korea slams Trump's Al-Quds move. In another development, the North Korean Foreign Ministry also blasted U.S. President Donald Trump on Saturday for recognizing Jerusalem Al-Quds as the capital of the Israeli regime, renewing its description of him as a dotard in a statement released its official media. Considering the fact that the mentally deranged dotard openly called for a total destruction of a sovereign state at the UN, this action is not so surprising, the KCNA reported, quoting a foreign ministry spokesman. But this move clearly shows to the whole world who is the destroyer of world peace and security, pariah and rogue in the international community, it added. Trump's Wednesday decision for the U.S. to recognize Al-Quds as Israel's capital and relocate Washington's embassy from Tel Aviv triggered widespread anger across the Muslim world, and drew expressions of concern and disapproval from U.S. allies. According to the latest KCNA statement, the North strongly condemns the U.S. move, and expressed firm support and solidarity for Palestinians and Arab people struggling to win their legitimate rights. The U.S. will be held accountable for all consequences from this reckless, wicked act, it further added.